It's worship, and tomorrow will be better because you trusted God enough to rest today.
Wow. And he was keeping the Sabbath.
He was.
In today's video, we're going to take a listen to this video of Erika speaking with Fox News about the passing of her husband. She's going to say a number of things here, including the Sabbath and other things that they have planned. Let's take a listen and engage with this conversation here. By the way, you know the book that Charlie Kirk wrote is coming out December 9th. We are trying to have, at least we're working on having a Sabbath symposium with a few friends to talk about this book. And we are hoping to bring this conversation to all kind of people who may be considering the Sabbath as a result of the book. We do not promote the book. We don't know what's in the book. We have yet to purchase and read it. When I say we, I have a few friends and I that are working on things. But this is an opportunity for evangelism, and we are going to take advantage of that. All right, let's take a listen to this video here and let's engage with the conversation a little bit.
When we walked into that room, he still looks so alive. I mean, because he just, and I'm just so glad I saw him, because you know this when you see someone pass at the mortuary. They never look the same when they're at the mortuary. They have this awful makeup and they're cold, and he was still warm and his eyes were slightly open. But you know what was so powerful, Jesse? He had this smirk on his face. It was so sweet. He had this smirk on his face where it meant three things to me. First, that he died doing what he loved. Second was that he was at peace. And I gave him a kiss. Gave him a kiss. And then before I left the room, which was one of the hardest moments of my life, was leaving him in that room. Excuse me. I looked at him and I thought to myself, that smirk to me is that look of, you thought you could stop what I've built. You thought that you could end this vision, this movement, this revival. You thought you could do that by murdering me. You got my body. You didn't get my soul.
Do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
Too many.
By that time, the video was everywhere. How do you process that?
I never saw the video. I never will see it. I never want to see it. There's certain things you see in your life that you can never unsee. There's certain things you see in your life that mark your soul forever. I don't want my husband's public assassination to be something I ever see. I don't want my kids to ever see that. And for people who actually enjoy watching that, which is quite literally sick, what if that was your father or your brother or your sister? There's a perspective shift there. We're human. Life is fragile. And there is so much beauty in this world. Why would you waste any portion of your life looking at something so evil?
Charlie was answering a question about trans violence when he was murdered. Do you think that was a coincidence?
I don't believe in coincidences.
Do you think they've caught your husband's killer?
Big question.
So,
This is a huge question now. Okay.
Your husband's killer?
So, something I'm so grateful for is that we have one of the most incredible teams for this case. I would never wish it upon anybody to have to go through what we are going through. To have seen the autopsy report, to have seen the different evidence portions that have been collected, I trust our team.
There's other.
Wait a minute. I'm not gonna go too deep in this one. Okay, the question was, do you believe that they have caught your husband killer? She spoke about her team. She spoke about the autopsy report. She did not mention the FBI. She did not talk about the work that they're doing. She did not even mention the name of the man who supposedly, ended his life. There's a lot of inconsistencies left out. She really actually did not answer the question. Trusting your teams, I don't know what that means. Because there were a lot of inconsistencies that are yet to be fully addressed about the nature of what actually happened that day. I don't think we're ever gonna find out, right? I don't think the FBI official narrative is correct. There's just so much discrepancies and inconsistencies with their claims that I don't even like to talk about it anymore, because I'm like, yo, it's one of those things. Anyway, let's keep going.
Theories swirling around about Charlie's assassination.
Right.
How does that make you feel?
When everything happened, my phone died and became a black hole. I just didn't turn it on for weeks on end. I've intentionally insulated myself because I need to guard my heart, and I need to be there for my kids, and I need to be there for Turning Point. And what I've realized through all of this is that everyone grieves differently. Everyone is trying to figure out, and I don't blame them, how does this happen? How does somebody become so radicalized where they can justify this in their own head? We just lost one of the greatest voices of our generation. Why? How? What's behind it? Like, everyone's trying to process this. And I respect that. But where my heart is just asking for some grace is for the ones who were there that day. They have to relive that every single day.
Okay, I understand her claims. We're gonna get to the Sabbath segment of things. Okay. One of the issues that I have with some of these responses is this. I understand what she's trying to say. My question is, Erika, why aren't you asking more questions? Like, you should be asking a lot more questions, because they did this to your husband, right? And anyway, I know there's a lot of stuff out there, conspiracy theories and all of this stuff, right? And I'm not upholding any of them, because I don't know what is and what's not, and I'm not discrediting them either. But what I'm actually very disappointed about when it comes to this whole thing is the Turning Point USA team, people, whatever, they don't seem to be in the forefront questioning the narrative, the official narrative of the FBI. They don't seem to be doing any serious investigation. The autopsy report has yet to be released to the public. And I wonder, why haven't you released it? Because that will, that will say a lot, right? What happened to the bullet? Where did it go? Was it lodged in his neck? Did he come out? And the other question is, why did they clean up the scene, right? We just had a murder scene. Why did they clean that up the next day and cover things up right away? Like, there's a lot of questions you gotta ask. And I was hoping Erika and her team will ask a lot more questions. And I'm not hearing that. It seems like, okay, it is what they say. This is what we're gonna do. I know there's a grieving process going on. There's pain, suffering. We get it. But I've also become extremely skeptical of the Turning Point USA team and some of the things that they're doing. And I'm also beginning to question a lot more that official narrative. It seems to me it's not true. But again, somebody can disagree with me, and let's just keep going here. I'm going to take a few more segments of this.
He didn't die in a car accident. He didn't die from cancer. He was assassinated. And the difference between this and previous assassinations in this country is there was no social media. There was no AI. I can't tell you how many fake images are out there of all of this. And again, my only request is that just please pray and consider and think about whatever you put online, because it's going to impact his kids in the future. I don't want my kids to go on the internet one day when they're older and see things that it's just, we're all trying to process this in their own way, and I appreciate that. But just some grace would be nice.
Do you feel safe?
I do. What are they going to threaten me with? Going to heaven sooner to be with my husband? And I don't say that to be reckless. I do not. I do not say that because I'm out in the streets like, here I am, come find me. And it's not at all. It's a fearlessness that's rooted in the understanding that I will have my day and my time, whenever that is. When the Lord knows that I've completed my mission. And I'm not afraid. Charlie wasn't afraid either. We never lived in fear. If we did, we wouldn't get anything done. And I can't help run alongside this mission of Turning Point USA and raise my babies with fear. I can't. That's not a life to live for anybody.
Now, in this conversation, this is Erika on the Megyn Kelly show. Okay, she is talking about the book, the Sabbath, and everything. Extremely interesting. Take a listen.
I want to ask you about the book that you're holding in your hands.
Yes, Charlie's book. I took the dust cover off because I carry his book everywhere. Stop in the Name of God. It's coming out soon.
Charlie's coming out with a book.
Yeah.
He's coming out with a book. Stop in the Name of God, which is a great title. Stop in the Name of God. And what is it about?
Took him a year and a half to write it. And this book, I mean, when I'm reading it, I'm like, I did not even know you knew that. It is so powerful. Overarching theme of it is the power of honoring the Sabbath and the importance of rest. And reading this, and I even brought one of his journals with me to read out of it, because the thing that's so interesting about reading this book and reading this journal, and I know a lot of you that are Christians will understand this, they tell you that when you read the Bible, it's the living word of God, and it is. And you see the Lord in technicolor when you read the Bible and you actually understand those words. And so for me, reading Charlie's journals and reading this book, it's like he's present with the Lord, but it feels like he's still fully here. And that's what's so powerful about this book. And I watched him as a wife completely transform into he was already amazing and incredible, but it totally elevated him when he was honoring the Sabbath and when he really took that seriously, that time to rest seriously. And I just can't help but think like everything, and to go to your point of signs, I don't think anything is by coincidence, but to have this be his last book and to him totally master what it means to rest with the Lord, it's all full circle now, because it's the ultimate Sabbath where he is right now in heaven.
When did you get to read it?
When?
Yeah.
As much as I can, driving into the office or...
No, but I mean, was it written in its entirety before Charlie died?
Yes.
It was. Okay.
Yes, it was. He finished writing this, I believe, in June or July of this year.
So you had read it.
Mm-hmm. But to read it in a book format and not an email format that he would send me is
something.
Night and day difference. Yeah.
What are the pages that are folded over?
The one that all of them are amazing, but the one that I wanted to read was the part about sleeping, because he loved his sleep. And something that I was very intentional about is when he came home, I would always let him sleep in, always, on the weekends. I would take the kids, go for a walk, whatever it took, and I would want him to wake up when it was time to wake up because I knew how important rest was for him. And so when I read this in the book, it was on my heart to share it with you because the title of it says, Jesus slept, Elijah slept, and so can you. And he said, so start tonight, close the laptop, power down the phone, let the dishes wait, pull the shades, dim the lights, and give your body permission to do what it was created to do, to rest. Let your bed become an altar of trust as your head touches the pillow and whisper to God, I release it all to you. You don't need to check one more email. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to carry the weight of the world. It already has a savior, and it's not you. Sleep is not a distraction from your purpose. It is part of your purpose. It is a sacred rhythm that restores your mind, heals your body, and quiets your soul. The Sabbath is your weekly reminder that you are not a machine. You are a beloved child, and children sleep well when they know their Father is near. So go ahead, embrace the gift. Make your Sabbath a day not just of rest, but of sleep. Deep, joyful, and replenishing sleep. You're allowed, and more than that, you're invited. Rest isn't weakness, it's worship. And tomorrow will be better because you trusted God enough to rest today.
Wow. And he was keeping the Sabbath.
He was.
All right. With that being said, we're going to wrap it up here. Powerful. But again, I think we have to look at this as an entering wedge. I don't run with every claim in this book. I don't know what the book is about. But it does seem to be pointing to the Sabbath and the significance of rest. Now, which day it is, again, this is where we come in. For those of us who believe the truth, this is our opportunity to say, this is what the Bible teaches. And this is what people need to understand about this. And we need to make sure we make a strong relationship between the Sabbath and Christ and redemption. You don't separate Christ, redemption, Sabbath rest. They actually go together. It has to be Christocentric, as the theologians will say. So, we are hoping to have a symposium. I have a few friends that I'm talking to, and we are hoping to have like a 3-part series. Hopefully we can do it all the same day. So we're thinking about 40 minutes each. And we can address the Sabbath from all different angles and present that in a very balanced way as well and show people what the truth is about this subject matter. Anyway, these are the thoughts that I have to share with you when it comes to Charlie Kirk's wife, Erika. Listen, man, I wish her the very best. I kind of wish she had more questions about some of the things that are going on when it comes to her husband. I wish she will dig into the nature of the investigation being done. But so there are things I may not know, so let me be quiet. I'm only behind this camera, so I don't know all the details. But the significance and the nature of the Sabbath is still a valuable discussion that needs to be had. So in the next couple of days or so, at the release of the book, this discussion is going to become front and center. And guess what? We, Seventh-day Adventists, let's get busy. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you. Until next time, have a good one. Bye.